guess we're gonna do a thing now. Hello, my name is Zach, and I am so excited to sit here with you on what is going to be a brand new adventure here on YouTube with our new channel called ZachTalksHawks. And I am delighted to share in this awesome first day with you on a day where there's not a lot to complain about. Monday after week one, we get to bask in the glory of Russell Wilson. We've seen some new wrinkles in this offense, and this YouTube channel is really dedicated to recaps and previews of Seahawks adventures all throughout the season. And I'm super passionate about Seahawks football, and I have a couple more other hobbies, but really this channel is designed for me to just share my thoughts on Seahawks football. And if you're a fan, please hit like and subscribe, and we can talk about Seahawks football together. So let's dive right into it. Seattle went to the East Coast and once again plays pretty well. There's a big stigma about West Coast teams coming east and they just falter, and well, that's not the case with the Seahawks, right? Where Pete Carroll and company really have a great dynamic with this team, and I don't know what it is about coming into that Texas time zone, that time zone where demands for players to be a little bit more disciplined, but they've got it figured out, really. They went and played the Indianapolis Colts in Indy. Of course, we're in 2021 now, so ruckus fan base. I was able to watch the game. The crowd was really intense. They're all hyped because Carson Wentz is their new quarterback, and Frank Reich are now together, and they're going to try to get on the same page in terms of offense. But I had no idea that the Seahawks were going to be this good, especially defensively, and we'll get to that here in a moment. Just to take a look briefly at a 28-16 victory, I don't really know where to begin other than Russell Wilson all over again is going to get our hopes up for another MVP run, and they do it every year, it seems now, but this offseason has been described by a whole bunch of folks who are inside that organization as like Russell Wilson's revenge tour. Like, he is so focused and he's so bought into this new offensive system with their new offensive coordinator, and he's really high on the different players that they went out and grabbed this offseason. And I've seen this version of Russell before. Very efficient, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. His offensive line played pretty well for week one. He was only sacked 3 times, and there was defensive pressure, but not nearly as much as what we're used to seeing with some of those offensive lines a few years ago. But man, 18 of 23, 254, and 4 touchdowns. I'm really impressed with how this offense looked. It's not boring in terms of run, throw on third down, hope you make it. The Schottenheimer era is long gone, thankfully, and we see a lot of motion and a lot of gadget plays and play action and different wideouts moving around, and that's what I really took from this offense. The ability to get Lockett moving around. D. Eskridge, the rookie pick, seemed electric. I really see him being that Percy Harvin, if we remember back to the Super Bowl era Seahawks. Like, he was just quick, and he's should be inserted at punt returner, at kick returner. I don't know why Freddie Swain's returning punts when you have a talent like Eskridge running around. He's electric, man. Bad thing is, he did get hurt, so we are going to see this week if Seattle's got a plan for that. And but I think the explosiveness of this offense is really going to hinge on Eskridge being that gadget, fake, move across the field member of this offense, and that's just another thing for defenses to hone in on. You really saw Indianapolis try to bundle up DK Metcalf as much as they could, and that left Tyler Lockett open. So the strengths of these offenses really shown throughout, especially the first half. Like, when the Colts have time, Carson Wentz, he's got a rocket for an arm, and he put it in some windows yesterday that really impressed me. I really hope for the Colts' sake that they shore up their offensive line a little bit, because man, towards the end of the third quarter into the fourth quarter, they just didn't have anything for this impressive Seattle pass rush that I didn't see coming. And I want to talk about that briefly with you. Like, we all knew Jamal Adams was going to be all over the place. He kind of plays like a linebacker. He's paid like he plays multiple positions. And I really like that about this team. But, man, there are some other guys where they came out and just balled. I mean, Kerry Hyder came in late, had a couple big moments. Quandre Diggs finished with 9 tackles. He was decent in coverage, but there are a couple hits that Quandre Diggs had yesterday where I was like, wow, we have not had thumping free safety play, even out of him, like that. And so I really hope Seattle figures something out with his contract and tries to lock him up in the future. Don't really know where he's going to land. Don't really know what his perspective is with this team, but he played really well yesterday. But the pass rush, like Rasheem Green and Kerry Hyder, and we saw like Poona Ford go down, and it didn't really matter because Al Woods came in and he supplied a little bit of a spark in the run defense, and that was some of the best Seattle pass rush that I've seen in a little while. And towards the end of last year, Seattle was starting to figure it out a little bit defensively, but man, they got it. Like, this pass rush is ready to play versus a Colts offensive line that was banged up. They were missing a key figure of their offensive line, and at some points they really played like it. And Carson Wentz is trying to figure out how to play a real football game behind this brand new offensive line. And towards the end of the third and into the fourth quarter, where it really became a defensive ball game, we saw how good that Seattle defense can be. One thing that I want to talk about here in terms of key takeaway of this game, and we're going to try to cover a key takeaway from this game and every game we cover that might fly underneath the radar. But if you're into Seattle football, and I think I have a fair grip on this team, I understand their strengths and weaknesses, but a week one overreaction point for me would be how well our corners played, right? Carson Wentz, he was able to get the ball out, but never really beat us deep. He had one really explosive play, and that was pretty much it. Everything else was just dink and dunk underneath, and and the Legion of Boom, like zone defense that Seattle's known for, to like, I'm gonna play off and we're not gonna get beat deep. Man, that has really burnt us because we haven't had corners that are just willing to tackle. Trey Flowers, I hope that we figure out that Trey Flowers is not starting quarterback potential, but I watched him get beat yesterday on a really simple touchdown throw outside to inside route, and man, I'm so tired of the Trey Flowers experiment. However, they tackled well, they played well in run defense, and I saw moments yesterday where they were willing to play up on receivers, and I felt like that was the first time in a long time Seattle was willing to do something like that, really, since Richard Sherman's been on this team. Our corners are a little bit hesitant of playing up and getting in defenders' faces. They didn't do it all the time, but a little bit more willingness to be a little bit more aggressive on the outside. That's all I want to see out of the defense. Our run defense it'll be okay. I don't think the Colts have a very great running game, but we have enough guys on that defensive front, and we'll have to see where Poona Ford comes out. But really, Al Woods is a great substitute. Run defense I'm not afraid of. The pass defense was phenomenal. It's giving up stuff on the outside, cheap stuff. And for the most part, as long as they tackle well, they're going to be okay. So that is our Week 1 recap of the Seattle Seahawks, and I am so excited to talk with you over what's going to be happening in the future with this team. And we're going to try for 2 videos a week where we react to a game and then we preview a game. So the next time we're going to meet, we're going to debrief about our Week 2 matchup, our home opener against the Tennessee Titans. But until then, keep talking Hawks. And I'm Zach, and I'll be here with you once again really soon.